Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different, to say the least. It is now 2019 and I have just been reflecting on the past year, over the past couple of days, just really reflecting and thinking of all the things that I went through that grew me as an individual, taught me a lot of really tough, important lessons about life, about myself. And it kind of made me realize that I have not shared any of these really at all with you guys. To be quite honest, I'm not really sure where to even start with this. Like I said, these are things that I haven't shared and I've been scared to talk about because so many of you guys come to me for positive messages and I never want to feel like I'm burdening somebody with the things that I'm going through in my own personal life. But the truth of the matter is, I am human just like you, and we go through things in life that teach us lessons and grow us and hurt and make us want to curl up in a ball and cry, and that's just part of being a human being. The first one is, I used to get anxiety over posting on social media. This one is extremely hard for me to admit, simply because these are the things that you don't see behind a screen or behind someone's social media page. I honestly remember the days when I would sit and stare at my phone and stare at the post I was about to make before I would hit the next or the publish or the share. And I would question if it was valid enough. I would question if it was good enough. I would question, okay, well, what are people gonna say about this? Are they gonna like this? Is this gonna get good feedback? It's ridiculous. That was mostly when everything first started for me. And I'm not saying that there still aren't days where I get anxiety over certain types of posts. It's hard to be vulnerable. It's very difficult to put your life out there in front of, for me, 500,000 people to judge, to have their opinions on you, some good and some bad. And lately I've read a few posts and I've seen other videos about other influencers who have gone through the same thing, where they get anxiety over making posts or trying to create content, or just questioning if what they're putting out there is good enough. And the truth of the matter is, it is. You just being you is all you should be striving to be. And now that social media and YouTube and all of this has become more of like a career, a job, which is really weird to say, and I could get into another video about that if you guys want that. But now that it has transitioned into that, and not for just fun really, I try to make sure that I'm giving my community the content that you guys want. And so that being said, when you guys leave comments about things you want to see on my channel, things you enjoy seeing, or you'd like to see a little bit more of this or a little less of that, I listen, because ultimately at the end of the day, I am here to help you guys. But because of that, it can create a lot of pressure. And so yeah, it's really hard for me to openly admit that sometimes I get anxiety over that. And I had a really good heart-to-heart talk with a friend of mine who's also a major influencer. And we sat across from each other at coffee and we just like poured into each other. And I actually almost got emotional about it, because at the end of the day, like, you can't find your validation in social media. You can't find your validation in likes or comments or responses from what people are gonna say about your life and what you're putting out there, because your life is your life and you have to live it. Whew, this one, depression. There were some extremely dark months in 2018. I went through a lot. I had a lot happen to me, and there were a lot of months where I stood in front of the mirror and I didn't know who I was anymore. I don't want to say that I was struggling with depression, but I was, and I didn't realize this until I had my therapist sit in front of me and tell me, I'm picking up a lot of underlying depression from you. And that was a real eye-opener. That was really, that was like a very hard pill for me to swallow, because all my life I've been this upbeat, bopsy, always positive, glasses always half full type girl. And man, when life hits you hard, If you guys have been following my journey for a while, or you know enough about my journey, you know that I've been struggling with mental health for quite a while. And it's something that I've kind of always battled. And whether it was body image and body dysmorphia years ago or anxiety here recently, trying to balance mental health has always been something that I'm constantly working at. And I feel like for a lot of people that do deal with that, they're not strong enough to admit that, but I'm here telling you guys that it is a constant work in progress. In past years, I was at a really good, strong place with my mental health, but this past year, my mindset was not where it needed to be. I said and did things that I wish I never would have done, and I had things said and done to me that I really wish never would have happened. And there were several months where I chose negativity over positivity, and there were several months where I felt completely lost. And I remember a few months ago, Kendall came over and we were just sitting on the couch talking, and she just looked at me and she was like, something's wrong. She was like, you're not okay. And I literally remember just sobbing. Like, I have never just like sobbed like that in front of someone in my entire life. And I just broke down, just her looking at me saying, you're not okay. And it was just, here it comes. And she was right. And that was the moment we had a come to Jesus talk, and I decided I was gonna get help, and I got a counselor, and that was the best decision that I ever made. And that is what ultimately allowed me to work through that difficult season of my life, was having a professional counselor there helping me, coaching me, saying, this is where you are in life and this is what you need to do to get past this. But this is something that I battled with, and I didn't want to show on social media simply because so many of you guys come to me for positive, uplifting messages, and it's very difficult to be vulnerable like that. It's still difficult for me to even sit here and film this video, but I'm doing it because you guys need to know that even the people you look up to, we're going through the same struggles in life that you are. And when you have this many followers following your daily life and looking up to you for these inspiring, uplifting, positive messages, it makes it extremely difficult to just let your guard down. But here I am, letting my guard down. Second thing that I was scared to talk about was dealing with depression in 2018. And one thing's for sure, that in 2019, I am going to bring full transparency, because at the end of the day, we're all humans trying to get through life, and you guys need to know, and you deserve to know, that it is okay to have some extremely high highs, and that's also going to come with some very low lows, and that doesn't make you any different than the rest of us. Whew. The third thing that I'm scared to talk about, I am constantly bullied. This isn't anything new, but 2018 brought pretty extreme measures. And I thank God every day that I am strong enough to get through it, because I don't think many would be. Dang it, Brittany. I told myself I wasn't gonna cry on this one, but whew. Okay. As you guys know from my story, I grew up in a situation where I was kind of overweight. I wasn't confident in myself, yada yada. I dealt with bullying in high school. All of us do. That's just something that comes with life. And so, you know, and then of course, like when social media took off, like it comes with the territory. I get that. I understand that. And most days I'm strong enough to like brush it to the side, but 2018 took it to a whole nother level, and it's absolutely unacceptable. Some of the things that I have been put through and had to read about myself, seen about myself, had to mentally overcome about myself, all because certain individuals feel like they're entitled to voice their opinions on someone's life. Unfortunately, when you're on social media, everything from the way you look, the way you talk, the way you act, the way you get your hair done, the spray tans you get, the makeup you wear, the food you eat, the clothes you're wearing out at night, everything is publicly displayed online for everyone else's opinions about you. Like I said, I get this and it comes with the territory, and I am totally okay with that. But when it gets to such extremes that my address is being publicly posted online, that I have people following me home to find my address, that my 6-month-old at the time nephew is being dragged into it, being made fun of, my family is being plastered online, that is not okay. During 2018, everything from my faith in God, my past relationships, the hardships that I've faced in my personal life, my drive, my sponsorships, everything has been made fun of and tried to be torn apart. Literally any opportunity to pick me apart, tear me down, mock me, ridicule me, or make fun of my life and the life that I'm just trying to live just like anyone else was. I've said this already and I'm gonna say this again. I understand it comes with the territory, but when they dare drag my family and my nephew into it, that's another level of sick. For the most part, I've been strong enough to just brush it aside, you know, because like I've said in so many other videos, what others say about someone speaks volumes about them and not about the person they're discussing or talking about, and that's the absolute truth. But there have been days when I've seen the things said about my family that really just bothered me, and whew. This is something that I'm just working on accepting, that there are just a lot of really sick, twisted, sad individuals in this world. And that is not me tearing someone down. That is not me being a bully myself, so please don't say that. That is me facing facts, because I'm only convinced that someone that is sick in their mind would go to these extreme measures of putting someone's life in danger, sharing about their family publicly online, and trying to slander so many different names. I've been good about dealing with it in 2018, but there were some days where I just wanted to curl up in a ball and start believing everything that they said. And then it's like God slaps the silly out of my head or something, and he's like, Britt, you know your worth. You are a child of God. You know the truth, because the things that these people are saying are not true. They are not true. And every single time, that's what pulls me out of that dark hole. It's sad that so many of us as social media influencers have to deal with this level of hatred and bullying and shaming. But like I've already said, it comes with the territory. And I just thank God every day that he has made me resilient, tough, strong, and allowed me to overcome these situations. And for anyone watching this video that has fallen victim to bullying like I have to the extreme measures in 2018, my word of advice is this: keep your head up, keep letting your light shine, keep being a beaming ray of sunshine, sweetheart, and don't let them dull your sparkle, because at the end of the day, that's all you can do. Moving on to number 4. I'm kind of scared to say this one. I am afraid that I will never find my forever. I had no intentions of making that rhyme, you guys. I'm afraid that I'm not gonna find Mr. Right. I am extremely picky. As after the things that I've been through in 2018, I had a lot of really crappy experiences. If you guys know my story, you guys know that I've had 2 pretty crappy relationships, like enough to scar me. And I say scar because a wound, when you touch it, hurts. It still hurts. But a scar, when you touch it, you can't feel anything. You're healed. So I say scar because I am healed. But that being said, I am scared that I'm not gonna find him. I want to settle down one day. I'm at a really good place in my life. I'm an independent woman. I stand on a solid ground, a strong faith in God. I have an incredible family that supports me, and I feel like I've got all these amazing things, and I would love to share that with someone, just like most women would. But that being said, because of my very crappy experiences in 2018, I am very picky, and I tend to push people away very fast. Not women, men. I tend to push men away very fast. I will be very guarded. I will be very cold to them until they prove me to be otherwise. But then once I let them in, I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I'm so scared to get hurt again. And so because of that, I don't know. I've been on some crappy dates. I've learned that not all guys are good guys, ladies. Please take my word for that. Even if they look like they've got good intentions, they might not. And just after the crap that I've been through, I've got a lot of standards, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. And I think I had to work through that, because I was like, okay, am I being too picky? Do I have too many standards? Do I have many things criteria they have to meet? But when you're a woman and you know what you bring to the table, you need to find your equal. And so right now, in this season of my life, I am just working on being happy on my own. Being single feels good. Living by myself, that's one thing that man, you guys, living on your own is the most amazing thing. I have no one to answer to. I can come home whenever I want. I can literally walk around looking like the Hot Mess Express, and I've got no one to impress. Just please don't take my dogs from me. My dogs are my life. But I don't know. I'm just right now in this season where I'm trusting that God is gonna bring Mr. Right into my life when he's supposed to show up. And sometimes that season of waiting is kind of just like frustrating, icky, trying, like, okay, I have no patience anymore. Where is he? Like, you know, ticking time bomb. But all of that to say this, at least I know that I'm not just gonna settle for anyone. And that is the most important lesson ever. And the fifth thing, this one is kind of interesting that I haven't really wanted to talk about. I still struggle with body image on some days, and I feel like that might catch a lot of you guys off guard. But I want you to know that body image is something that is a constant work in progress for most women. Even the strongest women that you look up to, we're still going to have days where we feel bloated, or we stand in front of the mirror and we're just like blah, like we just don't feel good. It could be because maybe you had a crazy week of eating, or maybe, you know, it's that time of the month for you, whatever the case may be. No matter how much physical and mental work you put in, you're still going to have days where you feel like that. And I want you guys to know that it's okay, that I struggle with this too. In moments like that, you just gotta hug yourself, stand in front of the mirror, tell yourself five positive affirmations. I promise you guys this works. 5 things that you love about your body, and believe them. Do not stop saying them until you believe yourself saying them. So many women think that if you're not loving yourself and loving your body 100% of the time, that you're doing it wrong. And that is just not the case. Loving yourself, loving your body is knowing that you're going to have low days every now and then, and you just have to take them as they come, move on from them, and be stronger the next day. But that about sums up the 5 things that I wanted to share with you guys, that I was very scared to share with you guys. I was reflecting on all of these last night, and I was like, can I openly talk about these? Mainly because they're just kind of things that really made 2018 not fun for me. It was a tough year. It was a very tough year. There were a lot of beautiful moments, a lot of incredible opportunities that I'm so thankful for. I got to travel more in 2018 than I ever have before. But it was a tough year, and I feel like that's all I can keep saying. All in all, I hope that me being transparent about these 5 things that I was terrified to share with you guys, I hope that it helps some of you. If you guys are struggling with any of these things, I hope that it gives you the sense of hope that even the people you look up to, we're all battling something at some point in our life. And I've already said this once, but I'll say this again. If you are dealing with anything such as depression or anxiety, or you're going through a really rough breakup or relationship issues, get a counselor, you guys. There's a lot of online help. You can get one in person. That was the best thing that I ever did for myself. As always, thank you so much for stopping in on my channel. If you guys like these kinds of videos, these transparent sit down talks, make sure to give this a thumbs up because as always, it helps me know what you want to see on my channel in 2019. Thank you so much for stopping in on my channel and I will see you guys in the next vlog. Bye.